Hey, make sure you follow the triple B, right? Because if I come home and I open the bedroom door and I find Triple B in bed with my wife, I'd tuck him in. Yeah, hello, shalom, salam alaikum, wagwan. Yeah, some people have been asking my comments. Well, what? Are you like a Jamaican, Arab Israeli? I mean, no, man. I'm just taking a mick, blood. Anyway, so you know what? There's a lot of boxing stories, nothing to do with actual fighting, just to do with nonsense. And one of them is Ricky Hatton vs Marco Antonio Barrera. Now they're fighting exhibition on 2nd of July of this year. So, I already covered it. I was like, well, come on, man, this is nonsense. Who cares about this, man? Years ago. No one cares about Ricky Hatton no more. The only Hatton the people care about is Campbell Hatton, and that most of them just want him to be knocked out because they know he's a fraud, man, and he can't fight. But so Ricky, Ricky, I think, I used to like Ricky, man. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he was aggressive, his body punching, the man of the people stuff. Yeah, it's a bit of a joke. Oh, yeah, I'm just a normal fella. Yeah, you like me in the pub. Hey, right. I'm Manchester City supporter, all that stuff. But it was likable. But then he retired and he started to dress up in a gimp mask. Yeah, and make stupid jokes like, hey, I know. Everyone says this a million times, but it's this classic joke. He's repeated it a million times. If you found Mike Tyson in your bed with your wife, you took him in, hey. You know what? I once had a girlfriend. Yeah, she went out with a dwarf. I never thought she'd stoop so low. That's why I didn't get hammered for that. But that's probably because Ricky's, unfortunately, became, late in life, a bit of an Illuminati pawn. So he's got a comeback against Marco Barrera, Antonio Barrera. Now, Barrera had a couple of recent, in the last 2 years, he's had a couple of exhibitions, and he looked okay, man. He looked pretty good for a guy of his age. I think he's 5 years older than Hatton. And Hatton has got in shape, which is amazing. On the one hand, it's amazing because I thought he couldn't be bothered, because he's talked about losing weight before, and there's a couple of pictures going on the bag, which he releases on his Instagram and Twitter, and then he gets fat and goes back to the bar, goes back to the breakfast table, and gets fat again. But this time he's got into shape. Having said that, the man's got a lot of experience of getting fat in between fights and then dropping the weight. So on the one hand, I say good on him. But firstly, no one's that interested, man, in watching you fight again. They want to see your son get ironed out. At least I do. Because he's a clown. He can't fight. He's cocky. But that's not your fault. But this is your fault. His claim, right? So he's talking. Ricky Hatton is talking about the Barrera fight, and this is what he says. He goes, "I'm doing this for the fans who struggled, being locked up with COVID. I got a call. I was asked if I'll come back to do this for the fans who've been locked up for ages after COVID. COVID has been tough for me, for everyone. I want to inspire people who had mental health problems too. They can look at me and say, he struggled, and now look at where he is. Eh? So they can do it too. I mean, you must think we're idiots. Unfortunately, many people are idiots. And Ricky, what a man of the people. He's so bothered. He's so worried about, the stresses we went through on lockdown and the COVID situation, that he's going to make a comeback against Marco Antonio Barrera for us. Yeah, I mean, imagine being that narcissistic as to think, all these people are going to suddenly, having been beaten down by the system, and been forced to stay at home, not work, not to see their grandparents, their kids, yeah. And whilst there's old people dying in homes, stuff like that, and these people are going to think, oh no, it's all right, man. Ricky Hatton is coming back, and he's fighting Marco Antonio Barrera, so he is. Yeah, I mean, imagine the arrogance to actually believe that he's doing it for the people. He's doing it because he's bored. He's a fat degenerate junkie, gimp mask wearing man who can't find a life after boxing. Now that I understand. You know, if you said, listen, man, I find it hard to get a life after boxing. I'm trying to be a promoter. I've tried to be a trainer. I can't get into it. So I'm going to try and just get a fight going on. You know, my son's fighting, but it's made me want to fight again. And, you know, I want the money too. You know, I don't know how much he's getting paid for it, but he wants to get paid. He's probably deluded and thinks, yeah, I'll get $1 million for this. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd pay, if I was going to sit live, I'd pay a tenner to sit. Because I think, well, fair enough. Barrera, and I've seen both these guys fight in their prime. Yeah, and I would spend £100 on them in their prime. But seeing a couple of old boys go through the motions and to try and imagine that it's going to, I'll tell you what, this is going to take me out of my depression. Yeah, this is going to make me forget about the fact that we got lied to. Yeah, and we got forced to stay in our home and clap for the NHS. Yeah, and that we got ourselves pumped full of like untested situations, chemicals. But it's okay because Ricky Hatton's fighting Marco Antonio Barrera, so that'll make it all better. I mean, it's sickening. I can't believe that it sold well. It almost certainly hasn't, you know. How much is he getting paid for it? I don't know. I mean, I guess it'd be on a percentage, but he's got to be aiming for a minimum of a few $100,000, right? Because otherwise, it's not really worth it. And you know, this whole it's for the fans. I mean, it's not. What do you mean for the fans? If it's for the fans, then do it for free. You got plenty of money, Ricky. Yeah, even though you've got an eating problem, a yayo problem, you got a lot of money, man, and you're getting reflected glory off your son. Or really, there's no glory there. You can get knocked out soon. Yeah, but I mean, really, we'll just cover the costs, man. Make it a minimum payment for the fans to come and see and go, yeah, right. Yeah, it was a bit of a laugh. I saw Ricky Hatton box Barrera. Now I would, before I'd made a kind of prediction, even though I mean it's an exhibition anyway, but Barrera looked pretty good in his comebacks. You know, they say something about Mexican fighters, good Mexican fighters. They never really get shot because, you know, it's a big sport, boxing in Mexico. Yeah, and there's loads of trash Mexican boxers, you know, and they just sit at the bottom of the pond. But the ones at the top have got such good basics, yeah, and are so poker face determined that they never really get fully shot. And I think that's the case with Barrera. Will he work Ricky over? Well, I mean, obviously Ricky is boxed at higher weight for most of his career, so he's naturally bigger. But Barrera, you know, it's an exhibition as well. Let's not forget that, man. They're not going to try and knock each other out. Although Barrera, you know, I tell you what, man, that man's always had a bit of spite in him, and a lot of them big time Mexican boxers do because they have to, man, because they are proper poor, you know. Unlike all these Americans and other fighters, we come from the ghetto. We come from nothing. You know, we had to put food on the table. It's either end up in jail, be a boxer, or be a drug dealer. All this lies, you know. It's not like America's desolate when it comes to jobs and availability of work. But you know, in Mexico, it's a lot rougher. They don't have much, man. But yeah, so when the Mexican fighters, man, they got that spite in them, and it's possible, you know, the Barrera will be like, you know what, and this gringo Hatton, he don't impress me much. You know, if he takes liberties, I'm gonna hurt him, stop him, and that might happen. In fact, I hope it happens. That's not because I dislike Hatton. I dislike what he became. You know, he was a real working class, tough, exciting fighter, but he kind of sold his fans. he sold his fans down the road a bit by not training between the fights. You don't have to train hard, man. Just stay in some kind of shape, close to the weight. And he spent the whole of his camp losing weight, And when he came to Mayweather and Pacquiao, he spent the whole camp losing weight, and he just wasn't strong enough. Well, as I said, I do think he had no way of winning against Mayweather because the referee was so corrupt, and because Mayweather is the number one Illuminati pawn, hands and nobody compared to that. Yeah. Yes, I just went on Ticketmaster anyway. And the tickets, the least expensive tickets are £52.95, right at the back, so you can't say anything. The most expensive tickets are £789. I mean, I haven't heard anything about undercard and whether it's real boxing or whether it's exhibitions, but imagine spending that money just to watch Ricky Hatton go through the motions with Barrera. What kind of people buys these tickets, Oh, I was there. Oh, yeah, I seen Hatton fight live. Oh, what did you see? Oh, I seen him fight Barrera. But he didn't fight Barrera. Oh, it was an exhibition. Oh, so he didn't watch a Ricky Hatton fight. He watched some lame set-up sparring session, and he paid £789 for it. I mean, come on, man. And I wouldn't have a problem with it, If Hatton just said, you know what, I want to get back in shape because he's been disgusting. He's a fat guy. He's not quite as fat as Hamed, but he's not far away. And, it's unhealthy. And he feels like, I want a reason to get in shape, lose some weight, train hard, stay off the booze and the fried breakfast. You'd be like, all right, Ricky. Yeah, fair enough, man. But no, he's like, no, it's for the COVID. It's for all them fans, who've been struggling with COVID. Yeah, I thought they might want to see Ricky Hatton fight Marco Antonio Barrera in an exhibition, and it would make them get over, all the lockdowns and the COVID things. Come on, man. He's another fraud. With every one of his stupid posts, Instagram stuff, his lame jokes, I find a lack of respect for him, which is a shame, because he was a warrior. I'll give him that. He was a warrior hand, But maybe he's an Illuminati pawn. Why would he be doing all this nonsense? Because it's just pushing the narrative. Again, we're a bit late, to be honest, but, instead of saying, yeah, I want to come back and get fit and have a fight, it has to be for COVID. Why is it for COVID? Because he's pushing the narrative. Why does he put all those pervy, weird pictures out and wearing a gimp mask? Because he's been humiliated, and that's part of the deal, man. You sold his soul, blood. You sold his soul. And you'll be selling your son's soul too. Well, he's whack anyway, and they can't do much. You can try and polish a turd, but it will never be that shiny. And that's what Ricky Hatton is. I mean, Campbell Hatton. He's a turd that isn't that shiny. Right? And, it hurts me because I was a big Ricky Hatton fan. I don't disrespect him. He's very well loved. But people have been fooled by yet another Illuminati pawn, who is just playing the game, doing what his masters tell him to. Go on, Ricky, go and humiliate yourself, and wear a gimp mask, wear a rubber ball in your mouth. Talk about the COVID thing. Push our agenda. Push. He does all these sort of sexual like tweets and that. So push that out, Ricky, because we want to make people be degenerate sex addicts. Anyway, so I got no respect for him. You shouldn't either. And no one should buy a ticket for this rubbish anyway. And hopefully, I hope Marco finds a bit of spite in him and knocks him out.